Why the world must limit temperature rise below 1 degree Celsius. Join me here, I am, your dedicated climate connoisseur. Greetings, viewers. I am Dr. Asher, your dedicated climate connoisseur, and today I am here to share a vital message with you. It's time we understand the urgency of keeping our planet's temperature rise below 1 degree Celsius. Limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, 1.5 degrees Celsius, above pre-industrial levels has been a widely discussed target for a long time, and it formed the cornerstone of the Paris Agreement. However, recent scientific evidence and assessments from reputable sources indicate that even a 1.5 degrees Celsius increase in global temperatures would have severe consequences for the planet. Here are some specific details explaining why there is an increasing urgency to keep temperature rise below 1 degree Celsius, 1 degree Celsius. Increased climate impacts. The difference of just 1 degree Celsius may seem small, but it has significant implications for the severity of climate impacts. With a 1.5 degrees Celsius rise, we can expect more frequent and intense heat waves, longer and more severe droughts, increased rainfall variability, stronger storms, and rising sea levels. These impacts would lead to widespread ecological disruptions, displacement of populations, increased risk of conflicts over resources, and threats to human health and well-being. Vulnerable ecosystems. Many ecosystems are highly sensitive to temperature changes, and a 1 degree Celsius increase can have profound effects. For example, coral reefs, which support rich biodiversity and provide livelihoods for millions of people, are already under significant stress due to warming and ocean acidification. Limiting temperature rise to 1 degree Celsius would provide a better chance for the survival and recovery of these ecosystems and their associated benefits. Arctic amplification. The Arctic region is particularly vulnerable to climate change, and it is experiencing warming at a rate much higher than the global average. Limiting temperature rise to 1 degree Celsius would help preserve Arctic sea ice, which plays a crucial role in regulating global temperatures by reflecting sunlight back into space. The loss of Arctic sea ice would further accelerate warming, trigger feedback loops, and have cascading effects on weather patterns and global climate systems. Food security. Agriculture and food systems are highly sensitive to climate change. Even a 1 degree Celsius rise can negatively impact crop yields, reduce the nutritional content of crops, and disrupt ecosystems that support fisheries and livestock. Limiting temperature rise to 1 degree Celsius would help mitigate some of these impacts and safeguard global food security, ensuring stable and sufficient food production for a growing population. Disproportionate impacts on vulnerable communities. Climate change affects different regions and communities unequally. Low-income countries, small island nations, and marginalized populations are often the most vulnerable to climate-related risks and have limited capacity to adapt. Keeping temperature rise below 1 degree Celsius acknowledges the need for global equity and justice by prioritizing the well-being and resilience of these communities and minimizing their disproportionate exposure to climate impacts. Tipping points and feedback loops. As temperatures rise, there is an increasing risk of triggering irreversible tipping points and feedback loops in the Earth's climate system. These can amplify warming and lead to abrupt and irreversible changes, such as the collapse of major ice sheets or the release of large amounts of greenhouse gases from thawing permafrost. Limiting temperature rise to 1 degree Celsius reduces the likelihood of crossing these critical thresholds and helps maintain a more stable climate system. It is important to note that limiting global warming to below 1 degree Celsius is an extremely challenging task that would require unprecedented global efforts to rapidly reduce greenhouse gas emissions, transition to renewable energy sources, enhance carbon sinks, and implement sustainable practices across all sectors of the economy. However, recognizing the urgency and striving for this more ambitious goal is crucial for safeguarding the well-being of current and future generations and protecting the planet's ecosystems and biodiversity. This is a critical alert and emergency declaration with significant consequences. It is crucial to understand the seriousness of the situation and the irreversible impact it could have. The idea of limiting global warming to 2 degrees Celsius, 2 degrees Celsius, is highly alarming and the outcomes could be irreversible effects on our planet. There are concerns that scientists might be advocating for this idea under pressure from political entities and investors with interests in fossil fuels. Thank you, friends. Please subscribe, like, and share this video now to stay informed and join the movement to limit the rise in temperature below 1 degree Celsius. Let's work together to make a positive impact.